After decades of voyaging through galaxies and science fiction, Star Trek icon William Shatner reached the final frontier in a rocket built by billionaire Amazon boss Jeff Bezos with his Blue Origin. But it took leaving this Earth and being blasted into space in order for the 90-year-old to see what I'd been saying for a while. The world's gone nuts!
Everybody in the world needs to see. There is Mother and Earth and comfort, but what you see is black. What you have given me is the most profound experience I can imagine. I'm so filled with emotion about what just happened. It's extraordinary, extraordinary.
And William Shatner joins me now. William, great to have you on the programme. Thank you so much for joining Piers Morgan Uncensored.
Thank you, Piers.
You know, when I was young, and I've been pretty young, I used to love Star Trek, the TV series, and it taught me in many ways a lot about space travel, and I found it fascinating as well as entertaining. When I watched you get so emotional about actually going to space, it made me quite emotional watching you, this guy I'd grown up with, actually achieving this dream and finding it so breathtakingly moving. What was it like for you?
Well, you've asked an interesting question. I was emotional, and you were emotional. What were you emotional about?
I was really emotional about watching a guy who, when I was young, was this great TV icon. I loved Star Trek, and I learned about space travel really through the show. And then to see you, this fictitious character that I knew from television, the real man, going up in space and being so moved, I just found that very moving myself.
Yes, but I'm glad to hear that, but for me, the emotion wasn't like, oh, I'm up in space and I played a space commander so many years ago. For me, when I look back at Earth, and I've only discovered this hours after when I came down, I'm thinking, why am I so emotional? And what I discovered for myself was that I was grieving for what we've done to this Earth, this tiny little rock, and you see the tiny little rock. I could see the beginning of the curvature of the Earth. I could make a circle and do the circumference of the Earth. That's how tiny. We're insignificant. This insignificant rock with these insignificant ants on the rock. And yet it's beautiful, and it's our life, and we're destroying it. And I didn't really comprehend what my tears were for until I had time to assess it, and then I realized I was grieving for the Earth and what we've done.
And have we?
Because, as you know...
Yeah. I was going to say, on that point, I mean, please. I think there are two things we've done, it seems to me. We've slowly ruined the planet, physically ruined it with our consumption. But also it seems to me that we've lost, a lot of people lost all sense of perspective. And that maybe when you were up in space looking down and seeing this tiny thing, Earth, that we need to get back to common sense, to a sense of perspective about what really matters in life. Would you agree with that?
Well, that's philosophically right. That's correct. That's like a really good idea in the midst of driving an electric car somewhere. That's a great idea. What I saw is the enormity of what we've done. What we've done to 5 billion years of evolution and all these beautiful things that have evolved and are gone forever. 5 billion years brought whatever it is that's now extinct. It's gone. And dimly in my mind, I was looking back at Earth and grieving not only for the things that are gone, but the things that are going, and in the very near future, the things that will go.
Right.
And it was all that. We are doing nothing about what this tsunami, apparently in Hilo, some years ago there was a tsunami, and the people didn't recognize it, and the water goes out apparently, and they're the people, oh, look at that, the water's gone out, and there's fish there. They were not aware that this giant wave was coming to Hawaii to kill a lot of people. There's a giant wave coming our way. We see aspects of it now with all the storms and droughts and things, but that's nothing compared to what our children are going to face in the next several years.
Prince William, who's actually big on the environment, but Prince William was quite critical of your trip and the other, what he calls tourism, space travel trips. He thinks it's billionaires running around wasting time and money, and they should be focused on more important things. What did you think of that?
Well, you know, that's yeah, you know, if you look at it, yes, that's true. There's all that energy going to go up and come down. But Bezos's idea is to get polluting industries up into the sky and let them pollute, you know, 300 miles above us and try and bring the earth back to what it was. It's a beautiful idea. When I was talking to him, I said, but that's going to take 100 years, and we don't have 100 years. And he said, and this is what the prince should understand, you got to have hope. Without hope, you have nothing. So we cling to a hope, but we've got to do something about the carbon dioxide and the methane to say, you know, two things that are polluting us.
Well, you talk of hope. I can only say that when I get to 90, I hope I look half as good as you do, William Shatner.
Piers, you've got the bone structure to be 102 and look as handsome as you are today.
It's fantastic to talk to you. Honestly, you're one of my TV heroes and a great guy, and I really appreciate you joining the show tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Pleasure to talk to you.
What a man. What a legend. Captain James T. Kirk.